Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. And right now we'll be streaming for our on-air airline career manager, basically a career add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we'll be flying my favorite aircraft, as you know, is Kodiak 100. Look at how beautiful and cute this is. Absolutely love it. And if you've watched my previous stream, we landed in this grass strip yesterday. Well, you can say that it was a crash landing, really, but we made it, and the mission was somehow accepted. So without further ado, let's go ahead and find our next mission. So as you know, we are trying to fly back to LaGuardia for our some bonus mission or something like that. So we'll be finding for jobs that are on the east, and I will lower my distance to even 25 nautical miles so that we can find more missions. Usually it's harder, and I forgot to do something. Hold on. I have to put the filter over here to our Kodiak 100, which will give us mission from where we are. So let's go and select that, and one more time create the logistics center and see what we got. So let's look at the headings. 1 to 5. This will get us closer to, well, not New York City. So let's see this. Nope. Damn, it is really hard to find mission going east. 148. At least the weather looks good so far. Okay, now this one might get us a little bit closer. I think there's a grass field as well. No, it is Old Bridge Airport. Looks like doable. We can do that. The payment is around 7k. The distance is not too much, and from there we can get some missions going up. I'll just look at some more missions and see how it goes. So 104. Oh, there you go, bingo. We found a good mission. It's about 40 nautical miles away, and this will get us very close to LaGuardia. I think I'll actually end up taking this. And the payment is only 2,800. Now that's something bad, but what to do? Our main mission is to go towards LaGuardia, so I think this is what we're gonna do. Is there any other mission? Okay, let's look at this. 44 nautical miles. Payment is 6,000. Not bad. But then we can stack this. Found it. Bingo. So we're gonna go to KEWR, which is Newark Liberty International. Let's see if there's anything else going there. Nothing else. And I'm pretty sure we can find a mission that will take us straight to LaGuardia from Newark. Well, we found our mission, which is suitable for what we're trying to do here, and the airport is good as well. Let's go to pending. And so these are the two missions that we're gonna do. So we're gonna go to live operations map at the same time. Actually, let me do this first. Let's see. We have enough fuel. We have enough fuel for 392 nautical miles. So we're good with that. We are gonna load everything. So no passengers, only dishwashers and precision instruments. Okay, not bad. We're gonna validate the fuel. Let me just check payload plus fuel. So fuel, we have 729 pounds, and cargo 1,146. So let me try to set that up first on our weight and balance. So right now we have 50% tank, which is the default, so we're gonna lower that amount to about, we have 729. So 729, I think, yeah, 739 works as well. And for our payload, what are we gonna do? So row 3, let's start from row 3 because we don't want to go too back. So over here, we're going to give it about 200 pounds. Ooh, already going back. I think we'll have to manage our payload We have to be very smart how we do it. 740, so we're very close. We need another 400 pounds. I think I'll put something on. Okay, also we don't have a co-pilot, so we're gonna remove that. But then that puts us even further back. Row 1 left. Try to put that 200. Row 1 right. 200. I think 970 is doable. And row 3 left. 200. Yeah, that does our job. But as you can see, we have to keep our our trim a little bit forward for takeoff, but that'll do. Okay, now that we have that set up, let's go ahead and load it. Fuel looks good to me. The destination, the distance is around 44 nautical miles, so that shouldn't be too bad. The loading time around 1 minute. So what can we do during that time? Let's go inside and check if, yeah, we can do a pre-flight check. So all the switches and knobs are either off or down position. What is this? Why are these on? Okay, actually, yeah, this can go pushed in. Once we put our fuel shut off left and right, we can lock our shoulder harnesses. With that done, let's go ahead and put this in. One thing that I like to do is take out this standby altitude. I don't really need that, so I will take that out. Other than that, parking brake is, there you go, confirmed on. We're almost done with loading, and then we will start setting up our aircraft. Okay, there you go. Everything is good. We can go ahead and click on fly now. And with that, we'll start tracking. Okay, with the flight data, now there is no meter available, so we're just gonna take, and also there was no parking spots available on Microsoft Flight Simulator, so we literally just loaded ourselves into the runway, and we don't need any meter for departure. So let's go ahead and start turning on our aircraft. Master switch can go on. Avionics bus can go on. Also, I think one thing I forgot is to take out my screens in order to have them on my iPad. So I'm going to do that. So my PFD and MFD are on my iPads. We are good with that. Let's go ahead and turn on our lights. So nav lights can come on. That is basically it for now. We don't need any other lights. And let me show you how I set up my flight. First of all, I'll just use the B key because we don't have any meter available, so that will set us the altimeter automatically. And let's go ahead and go to our MFD. So I'm not going to be using on-screen knobs. If you see my streams, you know I have a loop deck that is mapped using SPAD to both my PFD and MFD. So let's go ahead and quickly create our flight plan. For that, we'll go to flight plan page, and origin is 9 November 1. So 9 November 1. There you go. And we are in runway 25. We'll go ahead and accept that. For our destination, we know we're going to Kilo Echo Whiskey Romeo. There you go, New York Liberty International, and now we are gonna see the winds. So it's a 00, which seems very calm, so we can go ahead and choose whatever runway we want. Now we know our heading, we're going towards north, so let's find one. These two look good to me. We'll go ahead and take 04 left. Let's go enter. We'll find a procedure, and for 04 left we have an RNAV LPV. It sounds good to me, so let's go ahead. We'll get the initial approach fix set. For radio minimums, for minimums we'll go radio altimeter 300 feet for this. That sounds good to me, so let's go ahead and load it. And this time I'll make sure to remember to activate it once we are on air. Well, we are good with that. So let's go ahead to our PFD and set up our autopilot. So we'll set our altitude 44 nautical miles, which means we can fly, and we're going towards east. So I think 5,500 should do us good. There you go. Vertical speed will initially start climbing at about 1600, and I think that is good. All of that sounds good to me. So we are good to go here. Now we're gonna go ahead and start our engine. I'll leave you guys on this view so you can see everything pretty much. The main thing is our MFD. So the way it's gonna go is I'm gonna turn on the auxiliary fuel pump, I'll put the ignition on, and I'll put the starter to low. Once we have that, we are going to monitor our NG. Once that reaches minimum 14%, we're gonna put our fuel condition lever to low idle, and then we're gonna watch the NG rise, ITT rise. Once NG goes and stabilizes at around 53-54%, we can go ahead, turn off our starter, ignition, and auxiliary fuel pump can come back to standby, and then we can turn on our auxiliary bus, generator, alternator, and prop will go max. So with all that said, let's start doing it. So beacon light is gonna come on, we're gonna turn on the auxiliary fuel pump, ignition will come on, and starter goes to low. All we have to do is watch the NG rise, 10%, 11, 12, 13, and it's 14, so low idle for that. Now let's go ahead and watch all the T's and N's on green. Once that's on green, we'll start shutting off the switches. 52 and 53, so let it stabilize right there. Starter goes off, ignition off, auxiliary fuel pump standby, and RPM. Actually, before that, auxiliary bus comes on for the AC unit right over here, generator, alternator, and prop to max. We have a clean engine start, everything's on greens, and we are good to go. So now that we have our engine started, let's put our flaps for takeoff to 20 degrees. One thing that I'll do is I'll put my trim a little bit nose down because of how heavy we are. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Landing and strobe light can come on, we don't need taxi. Auxiliary fuel pump can come on because of our we're already in runway, so we can go ahead and take off. Fuel condition lever goes high idle, parking brake goes off, and we can go ahead and start taking off. Actually, your damper was off, so I'll turn that on. At around 65 knots is when we're gonna rotate. There you go, flaps can come to 10. Once we go near 90, flaps can come to 0, and we'll start taking our left turn right here. I can feel that we are a bit heavy based on how the aircraft is performing. Auxiliary fuel pump can come to standby, flaps are up, and we are making our turn to intercept the GPS path. Once we have that, we can turn on autopilot and we'll be good. Once I turn on the autopilot, I'll also activate my approach. This way we are good to go with our RNAV approach to runway 04 left. This is good, autopilot can come on. And now let me show you. So what I do is I just go to my procedure, go to activate approach, press enter, and there you go. Now all I have to do is watch for our top of descent. As you can see in Kilma waypoint, we have to be at around 4,441 feet, and then as we get closer and closer, we'll set our altitude. It shouldn't be too long of a flight, we will get there pretty soon. Oh, what a beautiful view. This aircraft is just so damn fun to fly. I can't get over how fun this is to fly. I'm gonna turn our nav to follow the GPS. There you go. I just realized my nav was not on. Pitot heat can come on because outside temperature is -7. Wow. So let's turn on our pitot heat. So all the instruments should work fine. The climb is going good so far. We're climbing at about 1300 feet per minute, and we'll reach our cruising altitude shortly. Right now, our top of descent, if we look at our MFD, what happened to this? Heading is good. Okay, so it's about 14 minutes, and once we cruise, it's gonna be about 8 minutes, I believe, 8 to 6 minutes away. It's gonna be a short hop. It's only 44 nautical miles away. So hopefully we can get to LaGuardia. Once we get to Newark, we'll find a mission to LaGuardia, and from there we will be able to do that special mission that we received once we leveled up. Oh, look at the beautiful moon right there. This game just keeps getting better and better. After yesterday's update, things are looking even better. The TBM 930, now you don't need any mod or anything. It flies beautiful. That was like before. I believe a year ago I used to fly that a lot. I was a big fan of it. Also, the METAR, just to confirm that the METAR information we're receiving from OnAir Airline Manager also shows calm winds, so very, very good. Altimeter is 3024, which is basically set right now as well. So we're good with that. And our top of descent will be, let me just show you how quickly it goes down. So look at that. As I expected, about 8 minutes, so it's even going down, so it might as well get to 6 minutes. So we're gonna be good with that. So one thing that I like to do is, right now we're less than 10 minutes away, so let's go to our PFD, set up our altitude. So for that, if we look at our final approach fix, it's 2000 feet. So I would set my altitude for VNAV to about 1800 feet. That gives me a little bit of wiggling room, so let's go ahead, put our altitude to 1800 feet, and then if we go ahead and press our VNAV button, which is right over here. Let me try that. Yeah, there you go. And now if you go to our PFD, it says VPath is armed. So the event that will cause our VPath to be activated is crossing over our top of descent point, which is in about 6 minutes, and once we do that, our aircraft will start descending down based on whatever it has calculated. Right now we're cruising at about 160 knots. I'm gonna pull down my power just a tad bit. As always, my plan, once we get to our initial approach fix, we will try to put our flaps down to 10 degrees, and then once we reach our final approach fix, before we get to our final approach fix, flaps will be at 20. Once we cross final approach fix, flaps 35, our yaw damper will come off and auxiliary fuel pump will come on. So that is basically our plan so far, and right now we're cruising. It's a very, very short cruise, 5 minutes 22 seconds, and we will be descending down towards our initial approach fix for RNAV approach to runway 04 left. I love flying in low altitudes. You can just watch the beauty that Microsoft Flight Simulator is. Very, very fun. Surprisingly, the winds are calm, because today morning when I got out, I live in New York City, and I saw a thin layer of snow, and it was very, very cold and windy as well. But it seems like winds are calm today, even in Newark. So I'm hoping everything will go well. We'll have a good, smooth landing. The only thing is that I finally figured out why my plane would wiggle the moment we landed and it would go either right or left. It was my rudder pedals. So basically I have the thrust master rudder pedals, and they are known for the issue where it starts, like, the sensitivity starts getting bad, and like even a little bit initial touch will just take it straight up to right or left. So all I have to do is, like, while on cruise or like when I'm descending final approach, I just wiggle just a little bit to reset my rudder pedals, and then once we get down we can start braking. Also, I really need to get out of the habit of taxiing really fast, and then when I move on one side my plane goes sideways, almost about to flip, so gotta work on those issues. Only 3 minutes away from our top of descent. Looking very, very good. And hopefully we'll be able to see the New York City skyline. Let's look at the winds right now in our PFD. So we have some tailwind, 27 knots, coming in from 310. Not really bad, we're not feeling it much, and hopefully while we're landing it is supposed to be calm, so let's hope for that, and yeah, we'll have a good time, I'm pretty sure. Earlier today I streamed the 4th leg of our down the east coast bush trip, so make sure to check it out on my YouTube channel, which is Zulu Alpha 907 as well. You can find the link somewhere in the about section of my Twitch. And we had a very good leg actually. It was a little bit turbulent in the cruising and on final, but the landing was pretty good. It was a fun one. We used at a time 3 VOR, and it was fun learning and using steam gauges and not using the modern G1000 NXIs. So it was fun flying without the G1000s as well, but as always both of them have their own advantages and own little mini games and fun. I absolutely love, like, G1000 is definitely my favorite, but it's also fun to fly the analogs sometimes. Just about a minute away from our top of descent. Once we start descending, I'll cut down on power. We'll try to descend at or below 150 knots or 155, max speed 155. I mean, it's an RNAV approach, so we should be good with 150, 155. Once we get closer and closer, we'll have about 6.1 nautical miles of distance between our final approach fix and touchdown zone. So we have more than enough room to play around with the speed. And there you go, we are starting our descent. Cut down on my power, just 10 seconds remains and we are already descending. There you go, VPath is activated. As you can see, the flashing green on VPath. So we have started our descent. I'll cut down on power. The most important thing in Kodiak is really power management. We can see the Jersey City shore area right over there, and our airport is somewhere right over here. So I believe in about 3 or 4 legs we came all the way from Ohio. I think it was Washington County or something in Ohio. from there we are almost very close to LaGuardia now, so this feels good. And my next plan is to move away from all the city area, so I'm thinking we should start heading towards south, so maybe towards Florida. So we'll keep on taking missions until we reach Florida, and then we might even go to the Caribbean islands and all that. So it's gonna work like a bush trip in its own while we do the missions, because I don't want to stay within the city area. I really want to explore the south and maybe even go towards west. We'll see how it goes. And with the Kodiak, I'm pretty sure I can fly literally in any geographical location. So we're about to reach our first waypoint in about a minute. Actually, sorry, we already passed through that. We are reaching Tokub, so the waypoint before we get to final approach fix, in about a minute 20 seconds. Once we cross that, we might put our flaps to 10 degrees. That's why I'll just try to keep the speed within 140-45 so we can quickly get down to 138, which is our speed limitation for flaps 10. And yeah, so on as we go, I'll tell you what we are doing and when we should do what. I've been flying this for a tad bit and I'm very comfortable with this now. I forgot to set up FS traffic, so let's go ahead and try doing that. Hopefully nothing crashes. FS traffic, destination is confirm, regenerate traffic. This is traffic density is 0. Why is that? To 50 and see what's up. Okay, there you go. We are making our turn to line up for our final approach fix. We are in our flap speed. I'm gonna go ahead, put it to 10 degrees. So once you put the flap down in Kodiak, the speed rapidly starts decreasing. I'll just do a little bit of wiggle with my rudder pedals, getting it ready before we land. And we're around what? 10 nautical miles away from landing. And the airport is right over there. New York City is right over there. And we are currently flying almost over, well, right now we are flying close to Jersey City. That is the bridge that connects Jersey City with Brooklyn, the Verrazano Bridge. I've been going around a lot of places. Like probably right now I'm flying over places where I've shot weddings, and it's crazy. It's very surreal to really see all that in Flight Simulator. Okay, our next flap speed limit is 120, so we're gonna try to stay within that. As we get closer to our final approach fix, I'm going to set up my flaps to 20. And I'm also going to press my approach button so that way we get the glide path. So 120 knots, flaps can go to 20. Once we are on glide path, I will go ahead and set up my aircraft for landing, which is going to be turning off yaw damper, turning on auxiliary fuel pump, and flaps set to 35 degrees. We're already in flaps 35 degree speed, which is below 108 knots. JFK is somewhere around over there, and LaGuardia is right somewhere over there. So a good speed, 108, 109 knots. As we get closer and closer, still not on glide path. We're still on VNAV path as we're descending down to the selected altitude of 1800 feet. By the time we get 1800 feet, I believe we're going to be on glide path. So nothing to worry about. I can even do a visual manual landing with no problems at all. So there you go, we crossed our final approach fix. Just waiting for glide path to be activated, and then our aircraft will be set for, there you go, glide path is activated. So let's go ahead, flaps 35, yaw damper comes off, auxiliary fuel pump comes on. So we are set for landing, currently on glide path, and once I feel comfortable, I'm gonna go ahead and take controls and do the landing. I believe that is that building the, well, some of the graphics, I mean, I'm playing on 1080p and it's on high settings, but still, and I still didn't download the USA update, I think the East Coast update, if there is one. I believe there is one, but yeah, so it looks a little bit ugly, but that is the New York City skyline. That's the Empire State Building, the One World Trade Center. This little island is the Governor's Island. Pretty fun place to go. We're coming in at nice and easy, runway 04 left. Our speed is not too bad, but I'm still gonna cut it down. Try to, as we get closer, I'll try to keep it within 80 to 85 knots. Just a little bit of wiggle on my rudder pedals. Beautiful. Oh, Jim is sitting over there. Yeah, let's just name him Jim. Speed is dropping a bit too much. Let's try to stay within 80-85. We're just about 2 nautical miles away from touchdown zone.
Wind 280 at 6 knots.
So the automated airline manager thinks that winds are at 280. I mean, the winds did change actually, we didn't refresh, but right now it's 308 knots. Which means complete crosswind, but that's fine. Still completely fine, we're gonna be good. I'm gonna take control over here, autopilot off. So let's go ahead and do this landing with some crosswind. We're a little bit too left, I guess. The runway is pretty long in New York, so we're gonna be fine. Just wiggling my rudder pedals one more time. Okay, that is. There you go. Okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. Wow. That was one of the worst landing I think I did. I straight up, yep, we didn't even follow the runway. Wow, that was so bad. I think this is the only aircraft that really goes through this issue. Let's go ahead. Taxi light comes on. That was really terrible on my side. But yeah, it's very annoying that once the plane lands, once you start moving it, it's just gonna go on one side or the other. That was really bad. I'm not happy at all about that. I gotta figure out a way to fix this. We're gonna take a left turn over here, find a spot to stand, and finish this mission and get our new mission towards LaGuardia. Hopefully we're gonna learn more about landing this. I mean, I honestly didn't have any problem before. It started like recently when I started feeling that my rudder pedal was not working. That's when it literally started. Put the fuel condition lever to low idle. Flaps can come up, and we'll just go to that empty corner and we'll stand there and unload our mission. Really, are we going towards a gate? You know, why not? Why not? Why not? I'll just stop right over here. Nobody's gonna complain. That's fine. So parking brake comes on, taxi light goes off, nav lights goes off, feathering, fuel condition lever to idle, and that is it.
It has been monitored by OnAir.
Well, there you go. We're done with the mission. It says landing was very smooth. I guess they didn't see what happened after the landing, but yeah, we got this mission done as well. Well, 2 missions. Let's go ahead, find our next mission. Hopefully this will take us straight up to LaGuardia. So we'll go to Logistics Center. And yeah, let's go home. That was basically our home airport where we started this whole journey from. So let's go ahead and go to LaGuardia if we find. Really, no mission for KLGA. Damn, that is really crazy. Nothing for LaGuardia, wow. Specific airport, KLGA. Let's see. Okay, we did find a lot of them. So which one do we take? I believe we can take this one because our seating configuration is pretty similar. So we'll take that. The pay is good too. And then we can take one more mission. What other mission can we take? It has to be some cargo mission. I believe we can take this poison material or whatever material that is. So okay, these are the 2 missions that we are going to take. So let's go ahead to live operations map. Our fuel should be good actually. Our fuel shouldn't be, we shouldn't need any more fuel, so our fuel should be good. So we're gonna load all the food crates and everything. Cargo 1200 pounds and passenger. Ooh, we don't have enough space. So what should we do? Can we lower our fuel? Nah, even that's not gonna help us. It's actually the payload. I mean, we can definitely go back to our missions page and drop one of them. That is not going to be good. We are definitely going to have a penalty if we keep an eye. Okay, well, yeah, so this one we gotta abandon this, sorry, and we'll just take the passengers. So let's go ahead one more time. Live operations map. This time we should be good with the weights. So yeah, there you go. We are good. We'll just validate that. It's gonna take about 30 seconds. And in that 30 seconds, let's go ahead and switch few things. So flight plan. We'll go to menu, delete the flight plan, and we're gonna enter our new flight plan. Okay, origin. Kilo Echo Whiskey Romeo. So there you go. If we press enter, so now the winds are at 308 knots. So let's find 29er. So runway 29. We have that selected. Let's go to destination. Kilo Lima Golf Alpha. There you go, LaGuardia. Let's look at the wind. 270 at 7 knots. So what are the runway available? 2231. I think we're gonna go ahead and take runway 31. Let's look at the procedures. Select approach. Localizer. So we have an RNAV. You know what? I want to fly it without any procedure. So let's go ahead. Approach will be localizer 31. We don't even have to set. We are not going to follow any of that. So actually, let me see if they have a visual. Yeah, so visual runway 31. And we're going to go straight. Radio altimeter is set and load. So runway 29, it's showing right over here. So we'll taxi all the way over there and then this. It's a very short runway, which should be good for us. Okay, on the OnAir Airline Manager, I'll start tracking our aircraft. And start tracking, let's go ahead. Okay, we're gonna turn on our engine so beacon light can come on. Also, let me quickly set the autopilot away from screen. We'll do about 2500. I don't wanna climb too much. Vertical speed can be 1500. That is a-okay. Your damper can come on, and let's go ahead and turn on our engine. I'll do that away from screen as well. Sorry about that. We have battery set, so auxiliary fuel pump can come on, ignition on, starter goes to low. I'll monitor the NG right over here. When it reaches 14%, let's go ahead and put our fuel condition level to low idle.
Monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
There you go, waiting for NG to reach minimum 53%. And we have our NG in green, so starter can go off, ignition off, auxiliary fuel pump will come to standby, RPM can go max, and generator, alternator, auxiliary bus, all of that comes on. Remove the flight plan away just so that I can taxi nice and easy. And yeah, so let's go ahead and go to our runway 29. This time I'll set up my rudder trim just a little bit. That is good. Okay, flaps set for takeoff. Nav is set. Altitude is set. Okay, let's go ahead. Taxi to the runway. It's gonna be a pretty long taxi. So we are on Bravo, and we're gonna continue taxiing until the end, until we reach our runway 29. So once we go off from runway 29, we're gonna take a 180-degree turn towards LaGuardia. So as we are taxiing, let's go ahead with our checklist. Our yaw damper is on, flaps are set for takeoff, fuel condition lever is right now on low idle. Once we are lining up, that can go to high idle. Taxi light is on, it was off, so correction there. Taxi light is on. Auxiliary fuel pump right now is standby. Once we line up, we'll turn on the landing and strobe, we'll turn on the auxiliary fuel pump, and our fuel condition lever will go high idle. We're only around 15 nautical miles away from LaGuardia. We'll get to fly over Manhattan, so that's fun. I'm still really bummed about that landing. Like, I really need to figure out why the aircraft is doing that. I mean, yeah, it's a rudder pedal, like my rudder pedals are a little bit messed up, but it shouldn't be like this bad though. I hope I get to figure that out. Let me check my trims. Yeah, set my trim a little bit more. We are a little bit heavy, so this trim should do good. So we're gonna take a right turn right over here, and then we're gonna be crossing runway 22 right. Nobody's on final. Jim is still sitting right next, not next to us, but a little bit behind. We're gonna also have to cross runway 22 left. So let's make sure nobody's on final. Nope, looks clear to me. We're gonna take a little bit of left and then a right to enter our runway. very open taxiway. There you go, we are about to get on the runway. Landing and strobe can come on, taxi off, fuel pump on, and fuel condition lever high idle. At 65 knots to 70 knots, we're gonna rotate and we're gonna be on our way. There you go.
Airborne time log.
Flaps can go up to 10 and flaps full up. Auxiliary fuel pump can come off. And we're gonna take a left turn here. I think I'm just gonna hand fly this leg or this mission. Let's try to get to about 2,500 feet for our cruise, and we'll be hand flying the rest of the flight. I'll bring down my power just a little bit. Set my trim. So there you go, we are almost at 2,500 feet. No autopilot for this flight. We just use the flight directors. So that is basically Midtown. Not, I mean, yeah. The upper Midtown has tall buildings, and the downtown obviously has a lot of buildings. But right over here, the Chelsea area is pretty, not really too many tall buildings. There we can see Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge, and then Williamsburg Bridge is somewhere over here. I might even end up flying over where I stay, so that's pretty fun. Hudson Yards right there. I've been to one of the Fly NY On helicopters for a tour of New York City, and it was very fun. looking at the city from a different view. It was really fun to see that. So there's the Queensboro Bridge right there and Roosevelt Island. It is so fun to fly over places that you know. A little bit dirty, but that's Empire State Building, Central Park right there. I think that's the Chrysler Building right here. Yeah. You can see the tower of LGA. So we are pretty close. That's the LIRR tracks. This is where I went to college for my associates, LaGuardia Community College. The Citibank building. Wow, this is really fun, flying over the places that you really know. It's mad fun. So we're already at 2,000 feet. We're gonna get even lower because our next waypoint we have to be around at 700 feet. So I'm gonna cut down my power here. Start descending down. And might as well just put my flaps on once we are at speed 138 knots and below. That's, I believe, JFK right there, or maybe somewhere more to the right, but some buildings are just populated over there. So our flaps can go to 10. I see LaGuardia right over here. And this is the runway that we're going to be landing on the corner. Runway 31. I'm gonna go ahead and put my flaps to 20 before I make that turn to line up with the runway. So there you go, flaps goes to 20 degrees. We are going to make that turn and shut off my yaw damper, wiggle my rudder pedals just a little bit. We're flying over Corona Park right below us. Try to keep my speed over here. I can see the runway on my left, on my screen at least. I have a huge wide monitor.
Wind 280 at 9 knots.
And our flaps can go to final, 35 degrees. Auxiliary fuel pump can come on. And once I'm parallel, or once the runway is on my left at 90 degrees, or yeah, 90 degrees, I am going to go ahead. Actually start the turn right now. We definitely have to drop more altitude. We are pretty high. Yeah, we are actually very high. I'm gonna cut down my power. Still be on the turn. Oh, we are actually good with the altitude. Hand flying this aircraft was very fun. Going forward, if I have very short hops, I'm definitely hand flying it. Just wiggling my rudder pedals one more time, hoping that this time it's not going to be too bad. We're a little bit, like, speed is a little bit high, so we'll try to get that down. Try to maintain the center line. one last wiggle of the rudder pedals, and let's hold it. Nice. This was not too bad, still really bad, like we cannot stay on the center line, but not too bad. So it tends to really move towards the left. Okay, auxiliary fuel pump can come off, flaps can go up, and we're gonna take a turn on our left, right over here. Landing and stop can go off, taxi can come on, fuel condition lever to low idle, and we're gonna go find a parking somewhere there and unload. I'm really happy that we're back to LaGuardia. It was fun flying over a familiar place, knowing all the spots in New York City. It was really fun flying over those, and we're finally back at LaGuardia, and we can do our special mission, which I won't be able to do today. I don't have enough time, so tomorrow I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to stream, but day after tomorrow for sure we are going to do the 2 special missions. Also, that reminds me of, I have to fix the seat configuration. I'm not even sure if I can do it, but let's see. Right now we are going towards an empty space. I don't see a general aviation ramp here, so we're gonna go somewhere over there and park. Hopefully nobody will mind. It's pretty empty. I don't know if FS traffic is doing its thing or not. So let's go in the middle, not disturb these gates. So let's go ahead, stand right over here. Parking brake can come on, taxi light can go off, flaps are already up, yaw damper is off, or we're gonna slowly shut off our engine. So generators, alternators can come off, avionics bus can come off, prop to feather, fuel condition lever cut off. And that is it for our flight right now. Let's go ahead and check with our flight data. Landing very smooth, 179 feet per minute, G 1.05, landing speed 55 knots. Everything looks pretty good. The flight was pretty well. And that is it. That is it for this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I didn't really enjoy the first landing. It was terrible. Still trying to figure out what is going wrong. But hey, we will learn. Also, we have 1 million in cash. That's nice. Let's see what next aircraft we can buy, even though I love Kodiak 100 and I might be flying that for the longest of times. But we'll check on those things. This flight was pretty okay, so let's go ahead, shut down our aircraft. Oh, what is going on? Okay, there you go. Pitot heat can come off. Our nav lights, beacon lights can come off. Avionics bus can come off. And master switch can go off. Other than that, parking brake is set, so firewall shut off valve goes pushed out. Harnesses can come off, and that is it. That is it for securing our aircraft. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch the rest of the videos. Soon we're going to be doing the 5th leg of down the East Coast bush trip, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, that is it for today. I'll see you in the next video.